lot of real big acts here on MV3, but I don't think anybody who's had as much impact on the music industry in the last year as these three guys. It's, of course, the Stray Cats. How y'all doing today?
All right, thanks.
Why don't you tell everybody who you are?
Lee Rocca, Brian Setzer,
Slim Jim.
Okay, that's them. Now, the last year's got to have been crazy for you guys. Has it changed your lives drastically, or anybody? They're real bummed out about the Yankees. It's hard to get them to talk.
Meditating on that course.
it's kind of like there's less time to do things. You know, you're constantly working on the road and stuff, but I find that when I get off the road, I'm bored stiff. I don't know what to do. And we usually sit in with other bands.
Yeah.
So you kind of complain about it, but when you're off, you kind of wish you were still doing it.
All right, now you guys you're from Long Island, right? And you started out and didn't really have a great deal of success there, and you went to England.
Right. We're not from England.
They're not from England.
From a lot of people think that. But we're from Long Island, New York.
Right?
And
I'm from Long Island.
Everybody is.
Everybody, because anybody is.
We meet people in Austin, Texas who are from Long Island. We can't escape it.
So what was it like, going from Massapequa, Long Island to England?
A relief.
Was it?
Yeah.
At the time.
At the time it was, because there was nothing going on, you know, and that's where our real first break came in London.
Were you well received immediately?
Yeah. Yeah, everyone started combing their hair like us and started talking in New York accents and.
Who are your big influences when you were like just starting to play music?
Elvis Presley, you know, and Gene Vincent, Eddie Cochran, and Buddy Holly, all influences on us.
All big rockabilly guys. What other artists do you like? Who do you listen to when you're not on the road playing?
Well, when I'm not on the road, it's the same as when I'm on the road. Lately, well, besides all the masters, you know, Buddy and Elvis, Gene Vincent, Eddie Cochran. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of country music, like a lot of pedal steel players. I'm very interested in that instrument. It confuses me to all hell. I'm listening to Buddy Emmons and Sneaky Pete and Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys.
Do you think you ever might try to do some country music, cut a country album, or?
Well, I can't see us straying too far from rock and roll, but it's just a nice influence, something that I wasn't really exposed to too much, something a little bit different. And I've been getting into that lately.
Who writes the material? Do you all write, or one of you?
We all write.
You all write. So Built for Speed was pretty much a compilation of all of you guys.
2 other albums that we already released in Europe went on to Built for Speed.
So the cuts from those 2 albums were...
Make Up, Built for Speed, yeah.
Ah, I see. Have they been released in the U.S. at all?
No,
The 2 albums?
they're around as imports, but they were never released.
And you guys just got out of the studio, you just got done recording a new album, right?
That's right.
Yeah, it's called Rant and Rave with the Stray Cats. That Dave Edmonds produced that.
Yeah, and I saw you play in New York at Roseland with Dave Edmonds.
Yeah, well, I was kind of following Dave around as a special guest performer. I was off a couple of weeks, and I would show up, and they would go, "Oh, you're here again? Can't get rid of you." So I would pop up I played at Roseland. Also, we had Dave as a special guest artist in the Midwest. We did 2 weeks, 2 crazy weeks.
That was a great concert. You guys, by the way, amazed me more than anybody else at the US Festival. I couldn't imagine a 3-piece band getting 200,000 people motivated the way you did. It was an incredible show.
It was great for us, too, you know. It was funny because there was a lot of bad vibes going down on that festival, and I don't know why, we just went up and kicked ass and played rock and roll and had 150,000 people doing this, you know?
Yeah.
And we had a great time. Without being modest, it's probably the biggest paycheck we'll ever get and probably the most people we'll ever play for. And it was one of the most memorable things that we've ever done.
Yeah, I was standing backstage and I was thoroughly impressed. The very first clip we ever played on MV3 was Rock This Town.
Really?
Yeah, very first video clip that we ever showed. So why don't we show that one right now? And Brian, you want to introduce the clip?
Yeah, let's rock this town.
On MV3 with the Stray Cats.